Y'all ready for this? You ready? Wade?
Yep.
Okay, 118.
The Ultimate Deck Podcast. Need a show about outdoor living? This is where it's at with your hosts, Shane Chapman and Wade Laurent. Thank you for tuning in. Now let the show begin. Yeah. The Ultimate Deck Podcast. Let's go.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Ultimate Deck Podcast.
Here we are.
Shane, Wade, Bryce here.
What's up?
Same cast, as always. I wonder if anybody ever sits in eager anticipation of somebody else getting named, like somebody, like a guest host.
Who else?
It's like, it's always Shane, Wade, and Bryce, but one time they're like, I hope it's Shane, Wade, and Terry.
Or Shane, Terry,
Wade,
and Bryce.
Shane, Terry, and Bryce.
Yeah.
Just Shane.
Or just a couple guys we don't know at all, like Barry and Greg. Like, who are these guys?
Can you imagine Bryce puts one on and like neither of us are here?
Yeah.
It's like Daryl and Carly do one.
Just two people sitting
We
there.
should totally do that. And they should dress like us, which isn't hard. You just throw on a hoodie and wear a hat backwards.
Yep.
That'll be the Halloween episode.
Yeah, right?
Ooh.
I'm not sure if we have a look, but as I had to describe what somebody would wear if they were looking like me, the answer was a hoodie and a backwards hat. And I think that's
Right.
probably pretty
Yeah,
accurate.
for sure. Or Raptors gear.
There's no hoodie today, but if it would have a hoodie.
It's because it's warmed up. It's only minus 25 out
Right.
today.
Yeah, balmy.
Hat out there.
Yeah, RCR Reynolds is asking, what's the rapper that did your intro song? It's pretty good. There we go.
We don't know.
I don't know.
Some guy off.
I can, if you shoot me a message later, I can let you know because I hired some guy at Fiverr to do it.
That's right.
And he is pretty good,
Yeah, it's decent.
but I don't remember his name. Wade, what do you got going on? What do you do? We're doing a bunch of rentals right now, hey? Around the store. We're getting some stuff done.
Smells like paint in here.
Yeah, there is paint happening on the main floor. We're painting the ceiling down there.
Ooh. What color?
Black.
Black.
We are doing a
Matte black.
blackout downstairs.
Like the whole thing.
Fun, right? The whole ceiling.
Oh, just the ceiling?
Most of the ceiling. There's a section we're not doing.
Seems to change.
We're not painting.
There's a
We're
few
not painting
things.
at all.
Like, we always like to redo our showroom just so it's a little bit different each year.
Right.
So we've put that plan into action. Shane and I were kind of walked around with Fraser downstairs and came up with some ideas of what we were going to do, and now that's happening. So
One of
they're
them
painting
was
up the
black ceiling.
It's
we're-
exciting.
We were talking about
Yeah.
kind of doing a pergola from the ceiling, like doing a roof system that was all cedar and stuff.
Oh,
so we
yeah.
painted it out black, and then we'll hang some cedar down.
That'll be dope.
Yeah, it should be pretty interesting. Just give it a different feel.
Yeah.
We
gonna be
don't
a different vibe.
sell a bunch of, like, we sell cedar, but we don't sell a bunch of cedar. And we want to sell a bunch of cedar, right? And so I
Is that
think,
because you don't show it as prominently?
yeah, maybe, right? That's the argument that we've had internally is that people maybe don't know that we sell it.
Yeah.
And that's probably why. So now we're going to change that.
We're pretty composite heavy, right?
There will
Like, a
be
lot of
no
people-
confusion as to whether
Pretty
there's
composite
cedar.
heavy.
Yeah, we're pretty composite heavy. It's like the industry still sells 80% wood decks
Except for
and 20%
the
composite.
deck shop.
We're the opposite. We're completely flipped on that.
Yeah.
But anyways, we got some cool things we've been wanting to do.
And then upstairs, we're doing the lunchroom.
Yeah.
So there's
Yep.
some drywall mud going on up here. And we tore some cabinets out. Shane tore the cabinets out. And now I'm like sort of putting that back together. Pretty slow. There's like, we're not setting any records over there.
An hour to tear the cabinets out and 3 weeks to put the new ones in.
That's right. I mean, the cabinets are here.
I didn't have to build them.
That's why I thought it would happen fast. I was like, they just need to be moved into the spot.
Really, they just got to be shifted. And then,
Yeah.
But, you know. So,
Yeah. So that's what we got going on. Is lots of busy stuff on the computers too, but the physical renovations are happening, so we're ready to rock and roll for
a couple more weeks.
Dun,
The
dun,
first,
dun.
let's call it 6 weeks
April
before it really
1st?
sort of picks up. Yeah, March is usually fairly slow as well.
March is a bit of a wild card, right? Sometimes you have a
Yeah.
nice March, but really you can't expect to have really good deck building weather till April here, right?
And there's no home shows this year.
No home shows.
I actually think that's good. I'm excited.
I'm not sad about it.
I'm not sad of it exactly, right?
So I really
Which-
enjoy working them.
Yeah, that flies in the face of everything we've ever said on the podcast. But it's like, we love home shows. They're great. But it's nice to have some time off from the home show.
Yeah, it's a lot of work and prep and like getting in there and getting set up. I enjoy the 4 days there working. I actually really enjoy it. I love it.
Yeah.
But it's so much work, especially now that we were looking at doing 3, like having stores in multiple cities and stuff. It wasn't just like, oh, we're
Yeah.
doing the home show. It's like, there's 3 of them you got to do now.
3. Yeah.
So it's a commitment. Deck Protect says you guys need a machine. What is he talking about?
Probably to spray the ceilings.
How does he know we weren't spraying them?
I don't know. Then maybe he's not talking about that.
I didn't say we were brushing them.
Painting. You said we were painting.
Painting.
People then, if they're using a sprayer, they don't ever say they're painting. They say they're spraying the ceiling.
Spraying with
Is
what?
there? Yeah, right. Exactly. What am I spraying?
A machine.
For bugs? Spraying for bugs
the
up there?
ceiling. Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't know. I could be wrong.
Just spraying COVID spray?
Yeah. And so last year with the home shows, we half got ready for those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the worst part is like we did all the stuff we don't like doing.
Especially the stress part.
Yeah, that was epic.
I was just talking to a guy. We were doing a little consulting session this morning, talking to him about the home shows and like what happened last year, and how we're just like there isn't going to be any this year, but it didn't matter if there were because we were assuming there wouldn't be a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
So we've spent zero time worrying about it. But that's what I said last year. Like they were canceled so late that we were actually in the middle of building the displays.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And downstairs before they got canceled. So it's like last year was the worst of both worlds. You spent the time or some of the time, but you didn't get any of the benefit.
Exactly.
So at least this year we don't waste the time. So, Bryce, you got any useless information for us today?
Not overly.
Okay.
I wasn't overly prepared, but I did want to talk about how friggin' cold it was.
Sort of snuck up on you like you forgot it was going to be Friday today.
I did, actually. It's almost like this podcast happens every week.
I forget it all the time. I forgot we were going to do the podcast till I walked into your office. And you're like, why is my phone connecting to the podcaster thing, Roadcaster? I was like, well, that's weird. And I was like, oh, Bryce. Oh, right.
Bryce is here. Podcast
day.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and we have a meeting at 1, so pitter patter.
Yeah.
meeting at 1.
Holy shit. We did this at a really bad time.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, let's get to it. I was just going to say it was cold out all week.
It was rank this week.
It was pretty bad. Yeah. It's been
I think
big cold
was
snap.
Thursday the worst? Did anybody look this up? It was, so Thursday morning, it was minus 33 degrees Celsius. The actual temperature. No wind, no anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Good time to sell car batteries, as I found out yesterday. As I went to go buy one, and
you
so
have to
did
buy
everybody
one?
else. Yeah, for my wife's car, and I went in there. It was 4:30, and it was lined up. There were a lot of people getting car batteries.
Oh, yeah.
So I imagine that place is raking it in right now,
Right, exactly.
or all those places. So
It was cold.
anyway, at least we're only getting a week of the cold snap because a couple of years ago it was all of February and a bit of March.
Oh.
Yep.
Like we had and it was worse than this. It was like closer to like minus 40 almost every day.
Yeah.
This year it's like minus 30 for a week, so I can live with that.
The coldest it's ever been in Regina was in 1936, February 16th, minus 48.
That's before all the global warming, though. How's that? Okay. Fine.
Minus
How cold it was.
48?
Minus 48. I heard it was minus 61 in Fort Mac this week.
Wow, is that even possible?
Can you imagine? That's twice as cold as it was here.
Gross. Nobody even lives to tell that story.
I texted Blake from California Deck Bros. I texted him a picture this week. It was like minus 30, whatever it was. Sent him a picture of my truck. He was like, oh man, at 50 Fahrenheit, I shut it down. Like we don't work.
Yeah.
Soft.
Was
Right,
like,
exactly.
He's like, I get that those guys aren't going to want to work in minus 30. Most of the guys here don't either.
no.
But 50 Fahrenheit, come on.
Yeah, right? Psh, nothing.
You should be able to work.
But you
if the
couldn't
number
work.
is positive in Fahrenheit.
You
Like, if it's-
couldn't work if it was 110 Fahrenheit, though. Like you'd die. You'd shut it down at that.
No, I've done that.
You could work.
Cooler full of ice and we all had heat stroke, but it's
Yeah,
doable.
exactly. So, anyways, different thing.
Anyway, let's get on to it. Today, we're talking about why.
Oh, I like the other intro. Do it the other way.
Why would you, what was the other way?
I don't know. Trex is a cancer culture.
Was that the other intro?
That was mine. That was in my head.
Cancel or cancer?
Cancel.
Trex is cancel culture.
Yeah. And then you're going to tell me why.
Oh, I think I figured out what the hell you're talking about, maybe, but geez, a bit of a leap there. Anyways, why would you ever use Trex?
Yeah, why would you ever buy Trex?
Why would you ever buy Trex?
2021.
Okay.
The funny thing about this is that there's a
Wade.
small fraction of people on those Facebook groups that are probably already writing their reasons down. Like some guys just like, yeah, and they're rah other brands and they crap on Trex, so they'll get a kick out of this, I guess. But anyways, we're going to go through the reasons you might want to buy Trex or not. Maybe you don't want to. Just some pros and cons about the lineup. But Trex has some changes this year, and so we haven't talked about them yet. They actually announced these before Christmas, but it was just today that I realized we hadn't really talked about them on the podcast. So I figured we'll go through and do this. So nothing really new from Trex this year as far as their decking lineup is concerned. No new colors, no new lines. A couple years ago they came out with the enhanced lines, which were brand new then.
Yeah, they really turned the industry on its head a few years ago, 2 years ago.
Yeah, that was a big move. And since then they've kind of like hunkered down. And I mean, everybody was battling like production issues and getting product run off. You're not worrying about launching new lines in the middle of that, or at least they weren't.
Yep.
But anyways, there's been some changes already to those lineups.
Yeah.
The enhanced, basics, and naturals. So basics is remaining unchanged,
which is good. They only had 3 colors in it.
Yep. Still 3 colors there. Now, if you're looking for a board that is low cost, but still backed by the great name and warranty of Trex, then Enhanced Basics does that for you with 3 colors. They're solid colors. There's no variegation to them.
Right.
They're a scalloped profile. Mm-hmm. But they're good. For the price point, they're good. They're the lowest cost board that we have in the store of the 5 brands we carry from the biggest brand. So that's not something you expect.
And
what?
What
are they the lowest?
Yeah.
Are they?
Enhanced Basics is the least expensive board in the store.
Does he even work here? Well, of the composites, composites, yeah. I mean, treated and cedar, less money, but
of the brands that you carry.
I didn't set the prices this year, so I didn't.
It was the same as they were also the cheapest last year. And the year before, for that matter.
Oh yeah.
I do work at a deck store.
I thought
that's why we're moving him out of the sales floor and into the office.
I thought that Fibron had moved into that position.
No, it's closed the gap, that's for sure. But
yeah. Well, my name's Wade. I work at the Ultimate Deck Shop.
I mean, in some markets it might be. To be fair, what we buy them for is a different story than what we sell them for. So
right.
But we'll leave it at that. Retail price, we have Trex the lowest.
So one of my favorite parts about that basic line is that they're gray, that clamshell. The color is on point.
Yep.
Nobody else has that.
Yeah, it's kind of a medium to dark gray. The one thing I don't like about that medium to dark gray, though, is that it shows dirt really well, though. I really like the color, but like we have some of it in our showroom. We have that picture framing the Foggy Wharf color, and the Foggy Wharf color looks good all the time. Never looks dirty.
Yeah.
The clamshell, on the other hand, you can see the dirt on it quite a bit. So it's a nice dark gray, but as with all dark grays, this isn't a Trex problem. This is a color.
Yeah,
right.
Color problem. Yeah, anything that's dark in color, dark grays or dark browns, will show that.
That's my only knock on it. The whole line as a whole is not as durable as the Transcend line. That's one of the upsells. If you want durability out of a board, then Transcend is like, it's really good, really durable.
Right.
The Enhanced line, not as much.
The very best.
But I mean, you don't want wood.
A third of the price.
Right. You want to go to composite. It's probably your cheapest price.
Correct. Yeah.
I just found that out too.
You just found I know you just
from a good brand anyway, right? So the basics colors, and then they had the Enhanced Naturals. And the Enhanced Naturals was the exact same profile, same makeup, same everything. It's just that they had variegated colors in there. So now you got the pretty stuff.
Yep.
And that's still around. However, they're sunsetting one of the colors.
What color?
Let me guess. Sunset Cove.
Man, there was some heavy foreshadowing there, hey? So after only 2 years of that color, apparently it wasn't selling too well. So they're discontinuing the Sunset Cove color out of the Naturals lineup.
What do you guys think about that?
I don't think anybody's surprised by this.
No?
I believe we didn't sell that one, I don't think ever. We actually did it on a charity project, was that color. It worked well with the white and black house and the red accents that they were going for. But I don't know that we actually sold a job of it. So I'm not surprised. I'm surprised to see it go, because I'm surprised they closed the door on it so quickly after it launched. And we've never been a red market, so what we sell is no bearing on what Trex might sell. Like up in the Northeast, they sell lots of reddish decks, right? So I thought it would do well there, but it must not be, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
So instead, they're telling you to use...
I was pretty surprised they actually even brought it out. I was surprised it launched, to be honest. Yeah, because when you look at the sales, I can't imagine Lava Rock is lighting it up, And so then to make a low-cost board, similar color, I was like, why would you do that? Yeah. So that's what they're saying now. If you want that reddish color, you can use their Trex Select Madeira or Trex Transcend Lava Rock if you're looking for dark reds.
I guess those reds are probably more of a like a premium color anyway, right? Like like people that are going to buy red,
Yeah, for sure.
right? Like who's got red on their house?
Yeah.
Only rich houses have red.
Exactly.
This is easy.
That's exactly. But I was going to say though, are they getting rid of these colors? Like, are they slimming down that line because of production last year?
Boy, that could help. Didn't occur to me.
I don't know what the reasoning is behind it. They're slimming down their lineup for some reason, but I don't know the whys behind it. I'm guessing it's mostly sales driven, but
if you did that, if you cut any production of Sunset Cove, you could then increase production on something else, right?
Get rid of
like
your
you
worst
run that
sellers.
many
Sure you
lineal
could,
feet,
yeah.
footages.
So that might have played into it a bit. Yeah. TC Dex is saying Madeira is going away too, right? And we have not been told that. Madeira is still an active color as far as we're aware.
Yeah, it's always
Unless
been
that's changed since then.
Like maybe it's similar for them to, kind of tricky for them to get. But I know for us, it's difficult for us to get Madeira because our supplier doesn't carry it.
Mm-hmm.
And so then if we are to buy that color, we have to buy the whole lift. Like you can't just run to the supplier and pick up 20 boards. You get a full lift of that stuff. And so that's a little bit trickier.
Yep.
No job lotting on that.
So that's the changes from the Enhance line. Again, Enhance is a great budget option. We sell tons and tons of it. It's really good. And like I said, the only knock being that it's a little bit less durable, but on normal use on a deck, it's not like it's still good.
Right.
Like our display deck of it doesn't have scratches all over it. It's just if you go and try to put a scratch in it, it'll be easier to put a scratch in it than it would be the Transcend line. But that's fine. Then they've got the Select line, and as far as I know, unless TC Dex knows something I don't, is unchanged.
Maybe he was at the summit.
He just said, maybe I'm just starting a rumor.
So the Select lineup always had 5 colors, still has 5 colors. It's a dated looking board. It doesn't, like, it's a very flat, almost shiny finish to it, and very shallow embossing. Like, it doesn't look as, not that the other ones look real, but it looks more plasticky than either the Enhanced Naturals line or the Transcend line. I mean, it's a coloring thing, maybe. But even like the embossing, it's very smooth. Right? And it's 7/8 of an inch thick, which that's how they used to keep the weight down on that and like the cost a bit lower. And then that was before they released scalloped boards. So, but Select apparently still has a lot of, and don't quote me on this, a lot of like the commercial ratings that's required because it's a solid plank where you can't use scallop boards. So that's kind of the reasoning why it's still around. To us, we're like, the other colors are less money. So go with those. We don't sell much Select anymore.
Yeah.
Here and there. We spot sell it.
For a similar price point, you can have some variegation.
Yeah,
right.
And so it's like, do you want a plain gray board or do you want a gray board with some streaking? In our store, the gray board with streaking is what people take.
Right.
So.
And then you've got the always stable and trusty Transcend line.
Very good.
Never going away.
It's very good.
It's a very,
As it shouldn't. It's a very good product.
good board.
No changes this year. I know a couple years ago they made some slight changes to the profiles and slight change to the embossing on the non-variegated lines. But this year, as far as I know, no changes going in. Other than...
They changed the price point last year too, right?
Went up last year?
2 years ago, they matched the Transcend price to the Transcend Tropical price, yeah.
Yeah.
It used to be cheaper to get the non-variegated stuff, and now it's not.
No, it's not.
But they are sunsetting Fire Pit and Treehouse this year. So 2 more colors dropped. More reds. More reds going. Reds and oranges.
Those 2 colors were pretty meh.
So they were, like in our market, our distributor didn't really do much with those 2 colors for a couple of years. They've been considered special orders. So we've never done much with them anyway. So now it's just official.
But even if I could have, I don't think I would have.
Yeah. Now, Transcend, great product, right? Like if you're looking for a strong board, very durable to both impact and scratching, it's like, I don't want to call it bulletproof, but it's bulletproof.
Right.
I don't want to call
It's not dynamite proof.
Yeah, you can blow it up.
Right.
But no, as far as deck boards go, like everything can be scratched, but if you're going to test a bunch of products, Transcend is going to show up as one of the most durable. It's also got very nice aggressive coloring to it, and the colors are vibrant. You know what I mean? When you put them up against like Trex's, Tiki Torch, for example, against some other brand's kind of orangey board, usually the color pops a lot more in the Trex board. It's very bright.
Correct.
And very aggressive streaking. So people like that.
So the 2 that they discontinued were monochromatic.
Correct, yeah.
And so like a boring red and a boring orange with no streaking and no highlights. Like
Yep. like, I'm not sad to see any of the ones that are leaving. I'm not sad to see them go. They were not ones that we stocked anyway.
Right.
So that's fine by me. I actually appreciate the slimming of the lineup because other brands keep adding to their friggin' lineups all the time. And as a dealer, and even as a customer, it's just too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This doesn't need to turn into paint colors.
No.
You know, you go shopping for paint and it's like, jeez.
Oh, you could spend like
There's
3 hours.
shades.
I'd
3
like to
hours
have
of
a
the same
white wall.
Like,
Good luck with that.
I don't think there's much reason to have much more than like a light gray and a dark gray, a light brown and a dark brown, and a red. And then you can have your different options, like your quality lines.
Yeah.
So maybe you have a entry level and a mid level and a high level. Well, that's 15 colors.
Yep.
So any more than that is really unnecessary. Maybe you want to throw in the odd one to catch a yellow here or something or whatever. And so maybe you push it to 20. But to have 40 colors like some of these brands do is like, it's obnoxious.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that this is a good play by Trex.
Yeah, I like that they're slimming the lineup down. Draw some more attention. Like you said, their production capacity for the colors that do sell will be increased because they don't have to worry about running the stuff off that doesn't sell.
Yep.
So I like that move too.
Good.
So as
Good
always,
decision,
very
Trex.
good
Decision. We
product.
approve.
Yeah, 25-year warranty on your fade, stain, and structural on Trex. So you get a nice long warranty with it as well. I mean, it's the biggest brand in the industry. It's a good product,
It's the biggest brand in the industry without the biggest lineup.
right? That says something.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
This guy's on fire today.
he is on fire. Now they made some. We never get as much into the other products that they do, but we don't want to leave this
Said.
talked about, unsaid.
Yep.
But they're making some changes to their railing lineups as well. They're composite
Untalked
ones.
about is probably not how you would want to deliver
I
that.
like that word.
Talked about.
Untalked. Also discontinuing the fire pit color in the composite railing. So that makes sense. You're not going to have the deck color anymore. You might as well discontinue the railing color too.
Yep.
And then some changes with their signature line as well, getting rid of the round aluminum balusters. Still have the square ones. Still do that if you want. And getting rid of their square aluminum infill kits for the composite railing as well.
They're getting rid of square aluminum
Balusters for the composite rail, for the Transcend rail.
Boy, I don't like that idea.
You can still do the round, right? Still do the round one there. And they're slimming down their lineup with the pyramid post caps because you had a couple options before. They're getting rid of the pyramid post caps, just going with the flat post caps, which those are, I think, were the nicer looking ones, or the more modern looking ones anyway.
Yeah.
Just lost our live again. And the biggest one, so I blasted through the railing there, so with some minor changes to the railing to get to Trex Elevations, steel framing.
You lost your life. You're going to talk about this without the live?
Well,
Yeah, we can. It's coming. I saw it. I got rid of it.
This whole like losing live has become almost like
Frustrating.
a what?
It's frustrating.
It's crazy though because
Frustrating.
last week
Well, hour and a half.
It's like
We
a
did an hour and
segment
a
on the
half.
podcast now.
Yeah.
It's like this happens more often, especially today, than the waste of time
the waste of
segment
time.
than we do the whatever it's called. Anyway,
okay, we're back.
Funny caps, your post caps. I think that's probably a good call in their part. I don't know that anybody was like really keen to use just the pyramid post cap. Do you think that's
Yeah,
it's
like
really tricky. Our market doesn't do a ton of that, but it was like that's awful.
yeah, this one doesn't affect us a whole bunch either.
We
We do
always
we
did
do some
those.
composite rail, but I think the other ones look nicer, so I'm okay with them making it simpler on that front too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then Trex Elevations, this one I thought was interesting because at a time when steel framing seems to be on the up, they're discontinuing it.
They're scrapping it. What's with that?
They were one of the first, if not the first, I would say the first to formally package it for decking purposes.
Sure they were.
And sell it as a branded product. And it's been around for a while. And steel framing has been a very specialty niche thing, high budget thing for a long time. And now that it's starting to gain some mass awareness, they're ending it.
I don't know why I'm confused by this. And I wonder if it was the idea that they had, like, if they had to make a bunch of revisions to what they had, you know what I mean? If they were going to have to remake the system.
Yeah. And that's what my initial thought was, like, maybe they're about to launch a new one, like a new system or something. But it's not happening this year. So either they're not, or they're okay with leaving a gap in the market for a year or two while they figure out the other solution. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
It doesn't really sound like anybody's really cracked the steel framing system market.
Well, there's some guys that are really...
They're trying.
Like Fortress is really getting there, and Bailey is starting to come out with a system too that, again, really getting there. And I think both those products were probably a little bit more advanced, second generation, if you will, versus the Elevations one. Like, basically, those guys looked at Elevations and was like, what are the pain points? Let's make those things a little bit better. So I do think that this was probably a little bit of a dated product, but...
What I could see happening is Bailey developing a system and then Trex swooping in and being like,
Just buying it.
we'll take that, put our name on it. And because they do that with, they have licensed products that they, purchase from people. That's how their kitchen goes.
Well, and so they make all of their steel framing too?
No, that was
a...
So a lot of their products that aren't decking and railing related are licensed products.
Okay.
I do believe that they bought the company of the steel framing. So that might... somebody might correct me, but that might have been a bit more in-house than some of their stuff. Like their kitchens are not, it's a licensed product. Their furniture is a licensed product. Their fire and water bowls and stuff are licensed products. So they're not making them. But some comments here. Precision Construction says steel is blowing up here. Thanks us. I'm not sure that we had any influence on that, but
It was all us. It was a 3-hour podcast.
yeah.
send the
Massive following in Colorado that just lives and dies by every word we say in this
Are you
podcast.
just talking about Scott?
Yeah, just the one guy. He's a big dude.
Eric Teru says he thinks a new system is in the works. I suspect a lot of new stuff from them. And so I wouldn't be surprised about it either that they're maybe 2022, they come out with a big, like,
Steel.
they might be smart in this being like, listen, production is the biggest issue right now. Just getting product out. Now is not the time to launch new products. Let's become a little bit more streamlined so that we can like tackle what the world is presenting us right now.
Yes.
And then maybe 2022, 2023, boom, they come out with some new decking lines. They come out with some new railing. They come out with some new steel. They come out like, maybe that's when they just like come out and just like dominate again.
Yeah.
And the big, like from what we kind of heard, like the best reason to go with those systems is because it comes with engineering stamps.
Right.
So I wonder if that's part of their, wonder if they're trying to get broader
It would be a
engineering.
good move on their part to
Right?
do that, to be able to have some like basically stamp the components.
Yeah.
And say like, you can do this and span it this far, do this, span it this far. Right.
Yeah.
And if they were to do that, it'd be pretty good.
Yeah. So that's the biggest news from the Trex world. It's all on the sheet. And like I said, Elevations was the only one that didn't have a recommended replacement product. Everything else was
Fair
like,
enough.
this color's gone, use these colors. This railing's gone, use this railing. This is gone though, use wood.
Use wood, right?
Like,
Use our protective
we don't
tape.
care what goes underneath anymore. Right? And that should have been the replacement product maybe. Use treated lumber with our Trex joist tape.
Yeah.
Maybe.
They should have called us before they released that information.
We tell them all the time.
Stupid.
Just like the bat phone at the Trex office.
Yeah.
It's just you guys.
Can you imagine the VP operations phones you up? Hey, it's Trent again. Hi. Whatever. I don't know what his name is even.
We're about to drop Elevations. How do you feel about that?
Yeah.
No, thanks.
Yeah. What's the plan?
So
Nobody tells us anything because we just come on here and talk about it. So
yeah, that was the only one that, like the other ones I think were just nice streamlined changes that I appreciate. The Elevations caught me off guard a little bit. Didn't expect it. But like I said before, I think they were maybe like, I don't want to piss anybody off, but I feel like they were going to be outclassed in steel if they just kept going with their existing system with what other products are coming out. So I think they're better off if they're going to launch a new product. I think they're probably, like Trex does things right. You know what I mean? Like they're not going to launch a new product that's crappy. I mean, they tweaked Enhance to get it a little bit better after they launched it, but
yeah.
I think they're probably aware that the Elevations product was maybe aging and there were some new competitors coming out and they were maybe behind the 8 ball a little bit. So I'm guessing they're maybe looking at another solution. And if they launch another solution, I would fully expect it to be probably the best.
Yep.
Or right up there, right?
Right up there. Absolutely.
They won't do it half-assed.
Yep.
Anyway, that is all I've got for the rest of the day. Wade, how about you?
Yeah. That was
Holy smokes.
28 minutes.
It was quick, but there wasn't a lot of changes from them. Some discontinues, no new products to talk about. So, I mean, same old as Trex, which is, it's a good thing.
That's
a
good.
good quality
That's a good
product,
thing.
a great brand, good warranty, good support, and great distribution and logistics. So it's easy to get.
Yep.
It looks great, works great, reliable, trusty.
So how do you think Trex is going to do as a product this year versus last year?
I think they'll do strong. I think they'll capture some more market share again this year. And
I believe there may be opportunity for, if you've got the product available, you'll be able to win some market share this year. And they've positioned themselves to do that by looking at this lineup, right? Some of the other guys maybe aren't going to have the same distribution or volume in market, and that's going to hurt them.
Yeah.
And then if you don't buy that, then you might buy the Trex because it's there.
This is the year where if you don't have product on the ground, right?
Yeah. So I appreciate the moves. They're simplifying things, and I like that a lot. We're tweaking our showroom to show we're simplifying even a little bit more. We're taking some of these colors that we've had in the walls for 5 years, not selling, and we're giving more attention to the ones that do sell or that we want to sell. And so we're open to boost some sales of the hotter colors and just create less confusion in our showroom. Just too many options, right?
Yeah.
And so if a board hasn't sold in 5 years,
right, exactly.
Why are we still giving it square footage? Give a little bit more square footage to the board that sells a lot.
Yeah.
So I think this partnership that Trex and we both went in, we're like, let's streamline things together this year.
I think it was a really good decision on their part.
It was really good.
Yeah.
So, okay, I guess that's it. Quigley's
Sorry,
wondering
Quigley.
how to spend the rest of his 30 minutes that we didn't waste today, but sorry, buddy. We cut ourselves short on time. We got other things we got to do, but this was an episode that it didn't need to be an hour.
Require much.
Not a whole lot of change. We told you what changed, what's going away, and that's all you need. So till next week, you guys take it easy and stay warm if you're up here.
It's going to happen.
You know what I mean? Jeez Louise. Have a good week, everybody.
Hey, thank you for listening to the Ultimate Deck Podcast. Now you know what we're about. Check the site, come and shop. UltimateDeckShop.com. Hit us right away for sponsorships or tell us if you want to collaborate. Let's go. Check us out on any social networks. Thank you for listening.